5-star copies all. Go ahead. Message to observer. Alpha 3 rounds. AT delay in effect. 3 guns. Bravo 2 rounds. 2 guns. Smoke on effect.
Hey guys, this is Andrew from the Options Millionaire Community, your #1 educational investing resource. Thanks for watching. This video is going to be about our trade recap from February 8th, 2022. A lot of lessons to be learned. I took 2 trades today, 34% profit and 42% profit. However, I'm only going to focus on the second one, the 42% profit. It was one that was riddled with lessons, both technical and emotional. It's something I want to go over. That's why I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the scene for you. It is Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. We had a bullish run early in the morning. In the morning, I posted this analysis right here. These are my SR levels that I post every single morning in the Discord. You can see them. The R levels are the green horizontal lines that you see on the screen. The S levels are the red horizontal lines you see on the screen there. So I posted that on there for your situational awareness. So what had happens, we had the bullish run coming up through the morning after bouncing off of S1. You notice the S1 is highlighted because with the plus sign, because that is a significant level. We bounced off of it. If you notice, also R2, also significant and highlighted because that is a level that is going to be very tough to both break and bounce off of. There's a lot of open interest there. There's a lot of large block orders there. There's a lot of interest there. The price came up here and we started chopping. At about 11 o'clock Central Time, I posted this right here. 45.31 would be considerable to break, and buyers would really have to step in to go beyond that. I did not think that we were going to break 45.31. So the price action began to break down just above R4. We finally broke above R2. We topped R4, came down. Now we were chopping inside of our afternoon range. I was posting in the room. I anticipated us failing and coming down. I was going to look at taking calls around R2 for a break. All right, so patience is the name of the game here. My thesis was the price action was going to reject and fill down towards R2, at which point I would take calls and then ride it back inside the afternoon range. All I had to do was be patient and wait for things to unravel. Let's hit play and see what the price action did. We did get that final rejection off R4, and we started getting the breakdown. The seller stepped in to flush the price, and we get this little bitty relief bounce here, a short covering bounce. Now, I did take an entry here. It was an early entry. I got a February 9th 45.15 call. I got a fill of $15.60 each. So my thought process was here, maybe we get a bounce just over R2. Didn't quite come down here, but all it was a little short covering, weak bounce before we filled back down to R2. It was an early entry, but hey, let's see how it plays out, because even when you make a mistake like this, you enter early. As long as your thesis holds, you still want to hold the position. And this is why I always say, don't trade your profit and loss statement, trade your thesis. Because if you see your profit and loss statement go nuts, red, green, all bounce all over the place, you're going to get shaken up and you're going to exit early, you're going to exit late, you're going to take entries and exits wrongly. So that's why I would say trade your thesis. My thesis was, as long as R2 held, I'm holding these calls. So let's see how it plays out. So we get hit play here. We do come down and touch R2. And what I'm looking for on the first touch of R2 to make sure my thesis holds is a bounce. Now, usually I set a stop. I was planning on set about a 20% stop on these things. However, I elected to go with a visual stop, which was R2. As long as R2 held, I don't care what the loss was. I'm holding this position. If R2 broke, then I'll close the position. So we get our first test of R2. We finally get a little bit of bounce here. Another test, another bounce off R2. That's now 2 bounces off R2. We come down. We test a third time. Bam, right there. Now, I was actually looking to close the position right here because that looked like we were about to flush R2. But before I even had the chance to consider closing, we get a final big bounce off of R2. And bam, off to the races we go. We get 1, 2, 3 bounces off R2. R2 was a very strong demand zone. That's why I had it highlighted. That's why you see the plus sign. That's why you see a nice bright green level. That's why it's so important, by the way, to form these levels, because it wasn't just a random spot in space at which point we bounced. No, it was not VWAP either. That was a very key distribution level from yesterday and the day before that the buyers and sellers had to negotiate. That's why we came back down, negotiated this price. Then demand stepped in, and off we go. We bounced right back up, and in a couple of seconds later, we were up to the top of the range. Now, when did I exit the position? I exited when I started to see top wicks off the top of the range here. I elected to close this position at $22.50 each. That's a 44.2% profit. There's a couple of things I really want to highlight here, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, because executing your thesis is so important to becoming a mature trader. When I posted this trade and I immediately went down about 15, 10%, when I hit 10%, I had people asking me in the trading channel, "Are you okay? How's the position? How are you able to hold through this loss?" And I'm like, come on, people. I'm only down like 8%, 9%. If you can't hold through an 8% loss as long as your thesis holds, then you shouldn't be doing options trading. Like, you have to be able to control your emotions. You have to be able to trade your thesis. You can't be arrogant enough or naive enough to think that every single position you make is going to go immediately green and stay green. You're going to have to let things shake out. Yes, I did enter a little early, but as long as R2 held, I was holding that position. And it held beautifully. Things worked out great. If I would have closed it for an 8% loss, I would have missed out on a 44% win. Now, it could have flushed and I would have taken a 30% loss, sure. But with my thesis in play, a high confidence bounce area, I am willing to take that risk. And if I close it, cool, no big deal. I put my play into place and it failed. I used position sizing to make sure the loss didn't blow me out. No big deal. But in this circumstance, I had a high confidence play. That's why I elected to hold. R2 held, and up we go. That's what patience gets you. That's what sound technical analysis gets you. That's what pivot levels gets you. And that's what market experience gets you. If you can remove the fear of trading your profit and loss and trade your thesis, you could start to become a lot more profitable in the long term. Now, on the flip side, if you are not trading your thesis, or if your thesis fails and you're still holding, it doesn't matter if you've got a 4% loss or a 90% loss, you're gambling. If this price would have broken down, my thesis has now failed, and I'm still holding down here like a 50 or 60% loss, then that is gambling. I'm no longer trading, I am gambling. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm wishing the price would come back up inside the range and make me profitable again, at which point that's not trading, that's losing, and that's how you get blown out. So, trade your thesis, forget about your profits and loss, and watch your profits grow. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit of trade analysis as well as some teaching about how to control your emotions and trade what you see, trade your system. If you have any questions, please shoot me a DM anytime in the Discord, or you can email me optionsbillionaire2020@gmail.com. Come join the Discord and the Patreon community. Links are down in the description. Come join the best educational investing resource out there. It's phenomenal. We've got a lot of awesome resources, a lot of awesome people that'll teach you how to do this day after day, month after month, and be profitable. I'm Andrew with the Options Billionaire community. Thanks for watching. I'm out.